Hi and hello. I thought today it's the 17th of April 2013, and today is an anniversary of some description. It's a real anniversary, and it goes back to 2011. So today I thought I'd make a video, because I haven't made one for a long time, to give some pure guidance and some signposts to our lives, our life story, our destiny, our future, and how our timelines are merging, and how when we look backwards we can see the whole purpose of what we've done and how we've done it, and sort of indicative of where we're going, particularly if we're wide awake. So since returning from the beautiful Indian Ocean, lots of things have happened, lots of things have manifested. And these things I'm going to keep private for the time being, because I don't want to dilute the energy that's currently being worked, because I know that there are some external forces that are working contrary to what I'm trying to achieve or looking to achieve. So it's best to keep these things private and personal. But what I can say, to be rest assured, I am going back to the Indian Ocean, and I am going back to begin some projects, and things are going to change. So going back to 2011, today, the 17th of April 2011, I arrived in Moscow. And that was certainly the beginning of a new journey. It was the beginning of a new opportunity. And that was something that just happened out of the blue, and that evolved in February 2011. 2003, there's also a similar pattern where my daughter had been born, my youngest daughter had been born in September 2002, and in April of 2003, things began to materialize with some other projects that I was doing back then. So I could see a cycle, and I could see that all of the lessons and all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge that has been experienced certainly serves for the purpose of where and what I'm doing today. And what's important to understand is that when we look backwards and we see the memories and we see the good things and we see all of the things that we've done, our role as an awakened person is surely to apply that learning and knowledge and wisdom to today's life. It's not about regret, it's not about hanging on or attaching to certain things, places, or people. All of the things that are with me today for a purpose. And there are some amazing people that I met in Moscow in 2011 that served a major role in my life, in transforming myself and shining light on the areas that were nestled deep inside of me. And my journey in Moscow led me to connecting with the person I believe to be my divine partner. This is the day that I met her in 2011. And whilst that person is not in my life, those memories and those journeys and those things that we did are still alive. The feelings that I have inside are still alive. Much the same as the feelings and sensations that I had in 2003 about the projects that I was beginning. They're alive. And when we look at these things, we can see how precious they are. They were good experiences. They were good encounters. And that love and passion still is alive inside of us. And maybe I've been going through this awakening process for the last 16 years, or rather 24 years perhaps, or for all of my life. But one thing I can say is that going to Moscow today, 8 years ago, is so reminiscent of where I am today, because today I'm going to be relocating to another part of the capital city in Serbia, a Slavic country that has very close ties to Russia and is very well connected to Moscow and is also Orthodox. So whilst this weekend most of the Christian world will be celebrating Easter, this doesn't happen here. This will be happening the following weekend, the weekend of my day of birth. So it's interesting dynamics that are going on. The signs and synchronicities are off the charts from the moment that I'm waking up to the moment that I'm going to sleep. Number combinations, synchronicities, autofills, you name it, pictures, everything is just coming in my face. And it's also coming in the face of those that I'm connected to, those that are awake. Other people are noticing it and realizing that they're real and they are guiding to a certain position. But very many are afraid to change their lives, to be brave, and to really wake up. And those people will wake up in time, I hope. So what I can say is that those people that I connected with in 17th of April 2011, some of them are still in my life. So this is another sign that these people will be again in my life for the coming next cycle that begins and is beginning in my life cycle. And when I apply all of the highs of the beginnings of these periods of 2003 to 2005 was a massive period of growth. From 2011 to 2013 was a massive period of growth, but inner growth. And now I'm set to be doing some very interesting work in another part of the world. And it's going to be nestled and focused on this country that I'm in now because of the descendant of Nikola Tesla, whose origins are from this region, and with the connections that I've made in Russia, because this is where the seeds of creation for the projects that I'm going to be working on were born, in Russia. So Moscow is very closely aligned to this journey, and there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be aligned in the future. I know from the astrology, and there's been so much astrology, and I've had this sort of inclination to do a lot more research on the astrology. The events that are happening over the coming few days, until Monday, Tuesday next week. If we look at this from a real perspective, we have a new moon in Libra on Friday, which is Good Friday. So it's an ending. On Good Friday is the crucifixion, according to history. So let's associate Libra with the crucifixion, this full moon, because full moons are for letting go and closures of ends of cycles. It's a double whammy because it's a double full moon of Libra. So it's even more prominent and more real to be dealing with closures and ending cycles. And then over the weekend, the sun begins to move conjunct with Uranus in Taurus. Now this hasn't happened since 1935. So whatever is coming, and Uranus is now coming very close to the end of its shadow period where it was once before, last year. So whatever is going to happen, on Monday, I think it is Monday or Tuesday, Uranus and the sun are conjunct. So this is literally, I think it's Monday to be honest, it's literally the resurrection, because Uranus hasn't been in this territory since 1935. And we can go back in history and look at what was going on in the Uranus-Taurus transit in 1935 and see what was going on around the world. It's very, very clear what was going on then. It's a good guide from then to look at how things are today, and the things are very, very similar. But what we're going to go into from Monday onwards, let's call this the resurrection, is all new. It's a place where we, as predominantly all of us on this planet that are alive today, have never experienced before, unless you were alive in the 1930s. So this change and transformation is about aligning ourselves with what is our life purpose. What are we as human beings? What is our source of creation? And all of that points to love, and unconditional love, and human expression, and being able to share this openly, freely and willingly without being judged, and to be able, with that love and with others that are in the same position of love, to create heaven on earth, a new paradigm, a new set of understandings about what relationships and what true love is. And the last few days I've been writing a few more chapters for my book that I'm going to be publishing now on the 8th of May, because of some certain synchronicities, because the 8th of May happens to be 88 in numerology, 8 and an 8. So this book is going to be a reflection of what's happened through art with one particular person that I connected to 2 years ago, whose life is transformed in the real world from a dark state to a very bright state, and she's become a budding artist, and she's channeling characters and information that are part of my life and have been part of my life. So it's important that we, or I, as a guide and as a mentor and somebody that's helped, show how this one beautiful soul has transformed over the period of the last 2 years. And that's a reflection of me also, how I have transformed and how my family has transformed, my children, how they've grown and really found their true calling, and how they've gone through this darkness, these dark periods that I've gone through as their father, as their mother has gone through as their mother. And we're still sharing this connection of love, even though we're separated by thousands of miles, or in case of my eldest daughter, hundreds of miles. The book will have 6 chapters, but it will also contain 39 poems. So this is my expression of healing, to guide others to turn to their creative side. Because this will wake up the mind, this will wake up the dormant aspects of ourselves that are festering, that have not been touched for decades, millennia, for eons. Because the information out there today is particularly programming us to be a certain way. When we wake up to our full creativity, we become true beings of light, of love, of compassion, of empathy. And we place ourselves first, and through our creative expression, we are creating. There are millions and millions of people around the world that are waking up, and they're transforming Gaia in their own worlds. And now is not the time to continue to help others. The days of being an empath are over. Those that need to wake up need to wake up. Those that are awake will be moving into action and creating the world that is necessary for humanity to continue in a position of love. And as we see these old icons collapsing, decaying, burning down, these are symbols that have stood the test of time. And no matter what any government or any power or any institution says, these are the clear signs that the old order is over. And it's only through a rebirth that the new can begin. And those energies of light and dark, good and bad, will continue, but the power of love and light will be at the forefront for the coming years, because this is what this current transit of Uranus and Taurus is all about. How we're going to handle Earth, how we're going to handle Mother Nature, how we're going to handle each other through transformation, through innovation, and through creativity. And there's lots more changes coming, but there's no point in watching the outside world for inspiration. The inspiration comes from within. So that's my message, that's my video. I'm so grateful for the experience and the encounter that I had in Moscow. And I certainly look forward to continuing my life journey with some or all of those people that were in my life back then. Take care, have a great day. Namaste.